Hi guys, it is Wednesday's English. Hope you're very well. Hopefully, you're all looking forward to the Zoom tomorrow. And hopefully, obviously, you are looking forward to another edition of Marshmallows English. Some people have been enjoying it so far. Give me a shout this week if you can. Let me know which one of our stories you've enjoyed the most. I can't even remember them all, but there's been a few. We've done a different one each week. Let me know which one was your favourite. It just gives me and Miss Harris a little bit of an idea about which kind of stories we like, what things we've enjoyed doing the most, because everybody likes different things. And maybe there's some that people seem to like more than others. Maybe people are interested in one thing, and that meant that they did a little bit more writing that week. So let us know which story you liked, and maybe also, as well as that, which kind of writing you've enjoyed doing. Some people really like doing the fact files. Some people like writing stories or diaries or things from characters' points of view. Loads of different things. Give me a little shout and let me know what sort of things you enjoy the most. Obviously, we've been trying to give you a big mixture of lots of different kinds of stories and lots of different kinds of writing. That is the plan. That was what we intended to do with our English, and I think we've done pretty well with that. So today, a little bit more stuff on marshmallows. Thank you to everybody who did the social media yesterday, and also obviously the questions on Monday. Don't worry if you're a little bit of a day or two behind. You can just do it whenever. All our lessons, all our English maths lessons, everything stays up on Class Dojo, so you can catch up at any time and send it through to me at any time as well, and I'll give you some dojos for it. So today, first of all, you're going to watch the video again. You need to watch it again. We always do this, watch it a couple of times, watch it each day, just makes you get even more familiar with it. And sometimes you spot different things each time, depending on what sort of English we're doing. So pause me for a second and go and watch the video of Marshmallows one more time. All right, so you've watched the video again. Today we are going to be doing some persuasive letter writing. So if you're persuasive, it means you are trying to get somebody to do something. You are trying to get them to think the same way as you. Sometimes you might write persuasive letters to maybe your parents or your people at home, saying you want a certain present for Christmas or a birthday or something. You might write a letter to Mr. Lonsdale at school, trying to persuade him for something new at school, like new games or new sports equipment or a hot tub or something. I don't know, whatever you want in school. Or maybe you might want to persuade your teacher to take you somewhere on a school trip at some point. You've got to try and persuade them. You've got to try and get them to think what you think and do what you want them to do. Persuasive letter writing. A lot of you out there are very good at persuading things, maybe to get an extra 5 or 10 minutes at playtime, or to have longer golden time, or get new things. I'm sure you're all very good at it. So we're going to think about writing a bit of a persuasive letter today. So in a persuasive letter, it's not actually an argument. When you think of an argument, you think of two people who've fallen out arguing over something. This game's better than your game. My trainers are newer than your trainers. Blah, blah, blah. Arguments aren't nice. But a persuasive argument is where you put your thoughts and your opinions across to someone and you try and get them to agree with you. So here we go. This is how you do it. This is how you sort out a persuasive argument. These are some things that you might want to think about. So you introduce the topic that you're writing about and state the argument. Do you agree or disagree? So obviously you want them to end up agreeing with you. but you have to put forward your opinions. So you explain in detail, and there's some words there that you can use. Don't worry about taking all these words in now, because I have got something else for you later on with some, it's like a word bank that you can use. So we've got some examples there. You need to describe things in great detail using great adjectives. The more you can describe something, the more it makes the person you're trying to persuade imagine it and think about it. So that's what you need to do. You need to paint a little picture for them. You need to argue why it's so good or so bad in some cases. Today, though, it's going to be why it's a good thing. We'll get to that. Use powerful verbs. That's good. That'll help your vocabulary. Give reasons for and against. So you have to think about it from both sides. Why should they do something? Why shouldn't they do something? You could ask them some questions, put some questions in there. They might be rhetorical questions. Have a think and remember what a rhetorical question is. And then you need to end with a little bit of a summary or a statement, summing the whole thing up. Okay, that's quite a brief one. We're going to move on though. I've got a little example for you. I'm going to read it out. So this is a letter. So it's got address at the top. It's got the date on there. When you come to write yours, you don't need to worry about putting the addresses at the top. Please don't worry about doing that. You can put today's date, and then you're going to put dear whoever you're writing your letter to. It's all going to be to the same person. Say person. It's all going in the same place. And then I'm going to read through this letter. You'll notice before I start reading it that it's organized into paragraphs. That's a really good thing. If you can do that with your letter, that's going to make your letter look a lot better. It's going to be easier to read, and it's just a better way of doing it. The reason why we'll do that, put things into paragraphs, is to put things in order and organize it. And also, it just makes each paragraph, if you do each paragraph about a certain thing, it's just a better way of writing, really. So I'm going to read this one. Dear Miss Smith, I am writing to let you know about a very serious problem. Your monkey, Merlin the monkey. As you know, I absolutely love monkeys. They are beautiful, cheeky, energetic, and hilarious. However, I have had enough of it stealing all my bananas, and it has to go. Merlin must be given to the zoo. So, in that introduction, it tells you a little bit about what the person is writing the letter for. So it's obviously all about monkeys, and it's actually about the fact that the person does like monkeys, but they're a bit fed up of this monkey because it's stealing bananas and it has to go. So you need to put in your opening paragraph a little bit of an introduction and explain why you're writing your letter. I'm going to carry on. Firstly, I work every day to earn enough money to buy my favorite snack. But every time I go to eat one of my precious bananas, they've been stolen by Merlin the monkey. Friday evening, for example, he stole my best bunch. Is that fair on me? Is that fair on me? Rhetorical question. Okay, we put one in already. Secondly, he is actually breaking the law by trespassing into my home uninvited. In my opinion, you should only have pets that you can control. I know some believe monkeys are fun pets, but I feel that they should just be enjoyed by safely visiting them in the zoo. I am sure that you would agree. Don't you think it would be kinder to the poor animal? Bit of a question again. We've also had some things already, like saying, I'm sure you'd agree. In my opinion. These are all really nice little lines, little phrases that you can use in your letter. Don't worry, though, I'm going to show you some more in a minute. Last paragraph. So in this one, they need to kind of sum it up a little bit. Merlin is, after all, a wild animal who should be spending his days climbing ropes, swinging on branches, and chasing other glorious monkeys around. You know it's true. Please visit the local zoo as soon as you can. I could even come with you. Do the kindest thing. Not only for me, but for Merlin. Yours sincerely, Mr. Chef, your kind and thoughtful neighbour. Okay, so it's all about Merlin. The neighbour's fed up with him stealing the bananas, and then he's trying to persuade, he's trying to get this person, Miss Smith, to take Merlin to the zoo where he'll be happier and he can do more things. That's what he's trying to persuade him to do. You, though, aren't going to be writing about Merlin the monkey. You are going to be writing a persuasive letter as the boy in Marshmallow story to the monster. Okay, we're assuming the monster will be able to read this letter. And the reason you're writing him this letter is to try and persuade the monster to come home with you and be your pet. Okay, some of you might have dogs, cats, parrots, guinea pigs, rabbits at home. You are now thinking about getting the monster from Marshmallows as a pet. So, what might you like to include in your letter? You need that introduction. You need an introductory paragraph. In that, you need to say why you're writing the letter. Okay, so what are you writing this letter? You might actually want to start it with, I'm writing you this letter. Tell me why. Tell the monster why. Some other things you might want to include. You need to say who you are. Okay, a little bit about yourself. What benefits are there to being your pet? So benefits means what are the good things? So why should this monster come and be your pet? And then it says, what will you do for the monster? So that kind of goes with that one. Why should it come and be your pet? What are you going to do for it? What have you got? Where will it be living? Something else, maybe what's it going to eat? What's life going to be like if it is your pet? And then compare being your pet with living in the wild. So at the moment, it obviously lives in the wild, in the marsh, in the lake, in the forest. Why should it leave there? So you might want to say some things about where it lives now, and then how it would improve and how it would be better if it comes to live with you. All right. And then you need a closing statement. So the last maybe paragraph or the last couple of sentences needs to be summing it all up. Okay. You might want to make your point again, come and live with me because, and then explain why at the end. So I said I had a few more words for you to think about. And what I would do, I'm going to put this link to this page on our class dojo so you can have a look at it, print it out if you want. Or you could leave this up. You could pause this video on this screen and you can use this because it's got lots of good little words and little phrases that you can use in your persuasive writing. All the ones from that example about Merlin the monkey are on here. So you can use some introductions. So you could pick some of them that make sense. There you go. I said you could start with I am writing to, and it's there. Look, I am writing to. There you go. Thinking about making your point. It's very important that you make your point because you're trying to persuade someone. You need them to think the same as you. So you need to make a good point. And there's lots of words there you can use to do that. Details. So if you want to give some details, I always say the more detail you put in your writing, the better. If you put in extra details about what it would be like for the monster living in your home, then you can use those. So you might say, it says there at the top, for example. So you might say, it is great living with me. For example, we have a big pond that you could sleep in. That's a bit like your lake. A little idea like that. Could be anything, about anything. Endings. So these are good ones to put in when you're summing up at the end. Okay? So they're good ones to use. For all these reasons, I think it would be a great decision if you were to come and live with me and be my pet. Something like that. And then there's some other words there that you can use. For, against, reasons, things like that. All right, I think that was the last slide. Okay, so use some of those words. You don't have to use them all. And like always, only use them if they make sense in your writing. Don't just think, oh, I'll put all these words in. They won't always make sense. Pick the ones that are working for you. So that is it. Your job is to write a letter. If I were you, I'd try and set it out a little bit like that persuasive letter example. You don't need the addresses at the top, remember. So there you go. It's going to look a little bit like that, paragraphs organized. And then think about these things. Try and include all those things in it. And then you've got some words to use as well. As always, with our English work this week, if you have a good go at these and you think, I've done, I like my writing this week, bring it on Thursday to the Zoom tomorrow, and you can read them out, which would be nice. It'd be nice to hear some of these letters and see if you can persuade that monster to come and be your pet. All right, that is it for now. I will see you all very soon. Good luck with your persuasive letter writing.